You know, she sure does have a way of sounding like she's caring, but she really just be telling the business.
I walk like this, I walk like this. I just in the video, I don't edit my pics. I work for it, I'm on my. And when I'm walking by, I know the truth is. You wanna know how she get that like that, yeah.
Hi everyone, it's Keisha and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 1. Let's just get into it. Because, girl, when they started with that opener, this is a reenactment. And they did like the whole dramatic car crash scene. I was like, oh my gosh. This is drama, drama, drama already. But wow, way to start a season, honestly. I was like, this is about to be comedy. So Karen got a DUI. The second one, thanks for the reminder, Ashley. Like, I honestly had completely forgotten all about Karen's other DUI, but then when Ashley was on the phone with Giselle and she brought it up, I was like, you know, she sure does have a way of sounding like she's caring, but she really just be telling the business. Because I really would have not even remembered that Karen had a DUI before this until she said that. She was like, I mean, this is the second one, right? Like, is she okay? We should be concerned. I'm like, Ashley, you really just wanted to say that Karen had another DUI. Like, that's literally all that was. Crazy. So the episode starts out with Karen and Giselle going out to breakfast to talk about, you know, the car crash, the DUI, is Karen okay? And first of all, I just have to say, well, one, I am glad that Karen is okay. But when Giselle said, even though you might be going through all this stuff, no one can ever tell from the outside because you always look put together. And I was thinking to myself, before Giselle even said that to Karen, I was thinking to myself, wow, Karen looks like it's season 1 again. Like that, I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. Like her wig, baby. In the confessional, she looks great, but obviously they've got professional hair, professional makeup. I don't know if Karen applied that wig herself that morning or what was going on, but it was definitely looking like season 1 Karen's wigs again when they were sliding back to the back of her head. It was... And also the way she was sitting there with her eyes, they were just, her eyelids were so droopy, and I was just like, is she drunk right now? Like, what's going on, Miss Huger? Like, are you okay? And then later on in the episode, they did say that, you know, she's been on medication, the pain medication from the crash. And I was like, oh, that's probably that, because pain medication always makes people tired. But that scene, before she said that she was on pain medication, I was like, Karen is like either drunk again right now or she's on something. So I'm glad that got cleared up. But the wig, it was absolutely sliding to the back. Like it was all the way back here on her forehead, and I was just like, Karen, you look like season 1 again. Come on, girl. And it was actually very sad to hear that when Ray was going through, like, you know, the passing of his parents, you know, Karen was there for him through his grieving process, you know, 10 toes down. But when Karen's going through grieving and the passing of her parents, all of a sudden Ray just like doesn't know how to be there for her. And I'm just like, that just sounds just like a man. And I'm so sad that she's going through that. I hope aside from the show, she has like some actual good friends who are there for her, because men, I feel like especially the older they get and like just the longer married couples have been together, men just do not be caring. So I think it's really sad that Karen has like turned to drinking her sorrows because her husband doesn't know how to be there for her. It's crazy. Husbands are literally so useless. It's sad. But I really do hope, you know, Karen's daughter, does she have other children or does she just have the daughter? I honestly can't remember. But I hope she has some good people to lean on. Obviously, any woman who's married would want to be able to rely on their husband for like compassion, empathy, support. But men, especially in their old age, I really feel like the older they get, the longer you're together, they're just like really just going with the flow. Like they do not continue to be loving. Like just from what I've seen of different couples, different people, it's just sad. And I really hope that, you know, she has people who can be there for her. But moving on to the next housewife of discussion, Mia. Mia, I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, Gordon is absolutely wrong for putting you and your family's business out on Front Street. Like, he's just angry and upset. And I do blame Gordon. Like, I'm not, like, none of that is Mia's fault. But I just think Ink wanting a DNA test on their child, and by their, I mean Gordon and Mia's child, and like Mia saying, oh, you know, it could be a possibility, you know, it's well within his rights to know if Jeremiah's his son. And I'm just like, I couldn't even express like what I was even thinking when I saw that. I was like, Jeremiah is Gordon's son, period. Like, please. It's the fact that you and Ink had an affair years ago. How old is Jeremiah now? Like, he has to be at least in first grade. He looks kind of big, so I feel like he's at least 6 years old. So the fact that Mia and Ink had an affair 6 years ago, close to the time she was doing, what did she say, IUI? It wasn't IVF, it was the other thing. I forget the acronym. But yeah, the fact that I just can't even form my thoughts together. But the fact that that happened all those years ago, and you never once tried to be like getting a paternity test, getting a DNA test, trying to see if Jeremiah is your child. But now that you and Mia are back together as a couple, oh, now you want to have a claim. Like, now you want to try and exert a claim on Gordon's son. Like, Gordon was there through his whole life. I'm so sorry. I just think that's so crazy, because Mia, like, what's not clicking? Had you and Ink never even got back together, Ink would not care about that boy. And what's gonna happen if y'all break up? He's just gonna up and leave. Like, he ain't putting no claim on Jeremiah. Am I saying their child's name? Is it Jeremiah or whatever, you know? I feel like I'm about to be like Tony from Girlfriends and just be saying the name of her son wrong. But I feel like, yeah, Gordon has been in that boy's life for his entire life, and Ink only cares now because y'all are together. But if you and him break up, Mia, he's not going to care again. Because if he did care, if he knew you had a child, like all these years, like, don't play. He knew there was a child at some point. If he did really care, he would have done a paternity test back then. That's all I'm saying. Like, child, I just think that was so crazy. And honestly, I think Gordon has every right to be like upset about that. But Gordon was mean. Gordon was abusive. I'm glad Mia is, you know, feeling like they're in a good place to co-parent. And I am glad that, you know, Gordon could admit to his mistakes and own up to the fact that he wasn't a good husband. But they should just be able to co-parent together. Ink should not be trying to insert himself in the family. That's how I feel. I don't know how long they've been together. Do I think they're going to last? Honestly, when it comes to these reality show women and relationships, a lot of these relationships do not last. If it ends up coming out, like when the DNA test happens, that Jeremiah is Ink's child, I just feel like that's upending that little boy's world. Like, he only knows one person as his father for years, for his whole life. And then all of a sudden, it's gonna be, I don't know. I just don't think it's the right thing. I think, you know what? Let's wait until into the season. Let's see whose kid it is. I guess that's what we gotta do. We gotta wait and see whose kid is it. So let's move on and let's talk about Miss Ashley. Okay, first of all, in her confessional, she looks amazing. Like, literally, her makeup, her skin, oh my goodness, she looked so good in her confessional. So Ashley's storyline is starting with her finally going forward with getting a divorce from Michael. And she said that, you know, she never wanted to move forward with it before because she was content with where they were at. And I'm just like, me personally, if that was my husband, I would have wanted to untie myself from him as soon as possible. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, her reasoning just didn't make that much sense to me. Like, why she didn't get the divorce until now. Because, okay, so now you want to start dating. You're ready to put yourself back out there, which is great. But now you're still legally married. And I mean, yeah, you're separated. You've been separated. Relationship's been over. But now what if the divorce takes longer than you thought it would? Then what? Because she was talking to her lawyer, her divorce attorney, and she was like, I think it'll be amicable, you know? I'm optimistic. And I was like, I don't know, girl. Michael's just very weird to me. I've never liked him since season 1. I never understood what Ashley saw in him besides money. But even though she said that she didn't marry him for money, I do think Ashley has dad issues. But that's neither here nor there. I've never liked Michael. I've never liked Michael for her. But if I was her, yeah, I would have wanted to be divorced like as soon as was possible, even if I wasn't ready to date immediately afterward, which I'm sure most women aren't ready to date immediately after divorcing. But yeah, I hope for her sake that the divorce goes smoothly. You know, I hope she gets everything she needs. She said she wants majority of custody of the children, which I think she's gonna get, because she's a very good mom. She's very good with her babies. And Michael's old. Like, and he's probably off doing who knows what. Like, I'm sure she's gonna get everything she wants. But will he make it difficult with like the money, the house situation? I don't know. He possibly could. He could try. If that's gonna be her only storyline, I feel like it's going to drag out. But maybe if she gets something else going on, then the divorce won't be her whole storyline. But if we see nothing else really going on with Ashley, we can probably just assume that this divorce is going to be drug out for the whole season, and there's really nothing much else going on in her life besides her dates, which they showed a couple clips of, which anyways. Honest, just a little side note about the dates. I feel like any man who agrees to go on a first date on reality TV just wants to be on TV. That's my opinion. So if she really wants to, like, I mean, she did say she kind of just wants to have fun. She wants to have sex. But if she's really trying to like find somebody, it's not going to be any first date that we see, because those are men that she just cannot and should not take seriously. So continuing on, I'm basically just talking in order of how the events happened in the show, like who they showed first, what they went to second. So moving on, I think Wendy was next, and I mean, wasn't really much of a storyline starter for her. It's just her wanting to quit being a professor, which I think as well, like, if that's what you want to do, then you should absolutely do that. Like she said, she's almost 40. She is a grown woman, and if something's not making you happy, stop doing it. I have West African parents, okay? I definitely understand what it's like to feel like you're disappointing your parents even though you're an adult, but sometimes you really just gotta, you have to live for yourself. Like, you have to live for yourself. And her mama can get mad at her for quitting her job all she wants to. At the end of the day, that should not ruin their relationship. And honestly, yeah, I'm actually surprised that Wendy kept her like professional career for as long as she did, like being on MSNBC and being a professor at a university with being on this show, because this show, let's be honest, it doesn't show anybody in a great light. And I think, I don't even know what university she worked at, but I just think a lot of universities would not want to be tied to a housewife show or any reality TV show in general. But if Wendy wants to quit, she should quit. Like, I completely agree with her. But yeah, not much of a storyline starter. But what I will say is, Wendy, you in that confessional in the yellow dress with the florals, stunning. You look so good. Like, Wendy looks so good in her confessional. Not the blue dress, the yellow dress. Like, the blue dress one, I don't know. I didn't really like her hair in that one, but in the one where she's wearing a yellow dress, she looks absolutely stunning. She looks gorgeous. Honestly, all the women look great in the confessional. Like, they're getting professional hair and makeup. They should look great. but Wendy literally looked stunning. Like the dress looked amazing against her skin tone. Her makeup looked good. Her hair looked good. Like loved it, loved it, loved it. So now we're getting back to Miss Karen Huger. And what was the name of the two friends that she met up with in that boutique? It was Vivian and Stacy. Oh, this part was interesting to me because she like started off saying that her and Stacy and Vivian were like, they were girls, they became really fast friends, and then she notices that Stacy isn't wearing a wedding ring on her finger, and so they talk about it with her, and Stacy's like, yeah, I've been separated for a year now. And my mouth kind of just dropped. And I was like, there's no way that these women are as good of friends as they're pretending to be if they didn't know that their friend was separated from her husband for a year or a year plus. I was like, now this is crazy. I don't know if the producers just had them like ask about, oh, where's your ring, just for, you know, the storyline. I'm gonna assume so. Because there's literally no way you can say that you're good friends with someone and you didn't know that they've been separated for a whole year. Like, not even like, oh, a couple of months where she might want to keep it secret, but literally a whole year. No. I'm gonna assume that that was the producers, because otherwise it's just funny to me. Like, none of these women are actually friends if that's the case. So after this, we had Miss Giselle's Hatitude party for Karen's birthday, and I thought the concept was actually very cute. Everything looked really good. Everything was very well put together. However, the actual party, girl, I don't even think they got past the drinks. Like, there was no appetizers, no nothing on the table. They didn't even make it past drinks before everything went sour. I was like, now you know. You knew what this party was gonna be. They started off talking to Karen, you know, asking her if she was okay, asking her, you know, girl, what's going on in your life? What's happening? And Karen came out talking about, you know, I just want to use this situation to find out who my real friends are, because I don't want no fake bitches around me. And I was like, you know what? This is so funny. It was so funny, but it really turned sour when they got to Mia, and I thought Giselle was completely out of line for saying that Mia was not protecting her kids. Okay, obviously your child seeing you have sex is not an ideal situation, but there's nothing like life-altering, damaging, and traumatic about a child seeing their parent having sex. I just thought Giselle took it too far. Like, it really wasn't necessary at all for her to say that. And I was on Mia's side. I really was, because like she didn't start this for real. Her and Gordon divorced. I don't know. Her ex, Gordon, was the one who put all their business out into the blogs. And no one even needed to know that. Like, that should have stayed as a situation that they dealt with as a family if they needed to talk about, which that is something you need to talk about. Like, if you have someone else over, you need to lock the door when the kids are there. But it was too much for Giselle to say, oh, you weren't protecting your children. I didn't agree with that. I do think Mia's a good mom. I do think she's very involved in her children's lives. And I think she's really trying to do co-parenting well with Gordon. So I really did feel bad for her with that. Yeah, she had every right to be upset with them saying that. Like, it was too much. And that is how the episode ended with Mia crying. I don't remember who followed her. I think it was Jacqueline and one of the other newer women. I think it was Jazzy. I'm not sure, I couldn't really see. She closed the door on the camera crew real quick. I mean, any get together with these ladies, you already know some things are going to be said that should not be said, but that's why we watch the show. We watch it for the drama, okay? If the show wasn't messy, we wouldn't be entertained. Let's keep it real. All in all, I thought it was a good starting episode. I was entertained. I am very excited for the rest of the season. And it seems like a lot of women are gonna be coming for Karen based off what they showed in the preview. And Stacy. It seems like Stacy's gonna be, I mean, obviously she's one of the new women of Potomac, but it just also seems like she's gonna get a lot of camera time this season. So it seemed like she had a lot to say when they showed the preview for coming up this season. So I'm excited. I love Potomac. I'm not gonna lie, I do wish Candace was, I know a lot of people like do not like Candace, but I really liked Candace. Like, Candace brought the drama. Candace was a fun person to watch for me. I liked her. And she always brought the drama. To me, she brought a good storyline and I was entertained. I like Candace, but I am happy to see some new darker melanined women. And yeah, I'm really excited to see the rest of the season. I am tuned in, baby. Okay, Sundays at 8. I will be watching Bravo. So I want to do these like little recap chit chats after every episode. Let me know what you guys think. Let's talk in the comments. What are your thoughts? I want to hear them. Thoughts on episode 1. If you're interested in any of the makeup products that I used, all of that will be listed in the description box below, as well as the shade names of all the products that I used. So if you're curious about that, the information will be there. So thank you so much for watching this video, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next one. I hope to chat with you and I hope to see you next week.
I walk like this, I walk like this. I just in the video, I don't edit my pics. I work for it, I'm on my. And when I'm walking by, I know the truth is